Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guests today are Susie McGrain-Hopp and Lauren Tucci from Gilded Pear Gallery. And we are all in the same room together, which is the first time in about 18 months.
Yeah.
So, welcome to you both.
Thank
It's great to see all your faces,
Yes, yes,
as,
it is.
as opposed to masked faces.
Right.
And back to, kind of normal gallery operations, pretty much. Tell me, Lauren, kind of tell me how you're proceeding as things slowly slide toward normalcy.
Well, I mean, we're keeping our business hours that we kind of established a little while back, so we're open on Mondays now, for the rest of the year at least. Open on Saturdays too. But as long as, folks are vaccinated, they're welcome to come into the gallery unmasked, but we're kind of playing things a little bit safe if we're meeting with people for framing or for like one-on-one things. We'll mask up for things like that, or it depends on their comfort level too. So, but we've got plenty of space to work around, and so it feels pretty good.
This is the 10th anniversary of the gallery, and of course, who knew this would, that a little thing like a pandemic would interfere with how you were going to celebrate. But Susie, before we talk about the exhibit, just talk just a little bit about the journey of, when, 10 years ago, you had no idea what the future held, and you took a flyer and opened the gallery, and now here we are.
It's been a journey. It's been a good time. So yeah, 10 years ago, I took a big leap of faith, and a lot of people took that leap with me, and that was, it was a good thing. So, here we are 10 years later, and, of course, this year is totally different than what we had planned, like a year ago when we started planning shows and when we were going to do our opening celebration, and so our official anniversary is on April 1st, so we didn't really do like an in-person thing at that time because it's too soon. So we just decided we're going to push that forward to the summer for our staff show.
And that's what we are here to talk about. The new show that's going up is the one featuring you.
All of us? Yes.
The two of you and Linda G. It's the Gilded Girls. I love that.
Fun little play.
So tell me about, Lauren, as the gallery manager, now all of a sudden you're kind of in the position of not interacting with Susie and Linda as co-workers and colleagues, but as artists. So as you all three, I'm sure this is a very collaborative process, but tell me about how things came together, and was that as smoothly? Did it go as smoothly as you imagined?
I love this question. Thank you for asking it, because all of our professional artists that we've done work with before for our shows have done really well with deadlines and meeting things on time and getting things in for framing, and we failed miserably. And but we can kind of like give ourselves a little bit of a pass, like working full time and keeping other things running. So so that's been fun. But we've been trying to keep tabs on like who's doing what and like how much space we might be taking up, what walls to use and things like that. But we all make very different work. So there was no like, oh, well, we need to coordinate how to collaborate on particular pieces. We're just kind of establishing like ourselves in space, in separate kind of like quadrants of the gallery space. But it has been interesting to see how people are working through, because we've been working, since before we all got vaccinated and things like that, and so we've been kind of like in this like strange pandemic mindset still, even, so just like kind of focusing on like work, but then like having the brain capacity to be creative and to know what that really means. So I think a lot of the work will be some feelings of how we all kind of handled the pandemic too, in our own individual ways. So
Susie, did you all work on your art through the pandemic? And I will say that in my creative work, not associated with the radio station, I was shut down, and it was only after I was vaccinated and things started to come back to normal that all of a sudden the creative juices started to flow. So I'm curious as to how that affected the three of you.
It was the same story with me. There was just too much stress, too much going on with the just keeping it all together, to really put yourself into the creative mode. And so really it was just, knowing the show's coming up is just kind of like, okay, focus on this and bring it together. And, like I said, or Lauren said, we all work very differently, different medias. And so it's an exploration.
For those who don't know, tell me a little bit about what your medium of choice for your art is. And let's start with the one who's not here. Let's give Linda first place since she couldn't be with us.
Yeah, so Linda G, she is a multidisciplinary artist too. She does charcoal drawings, but when I knew her, met her, she was making clay primarily, functional ware for the most part. But for this show, she's going to have some sculpture pieces, and directly kind of relating to her charcoal drawings. And so she kind of bases her work out of our biology and bones and some kind of, smaller form biology. Nothing directly representational, so like nothing's like of a figure, but it's all kind of abstracted. So it's nice to see the work from paper into a three-dimensional form.
And just keep going and tell me a little about Lauren Tucci, the artist.
I'm kind of expanding on a series that I had started in 2019 that kind of got halted by obvious factors. So I'm kind of working through that. So the sculptures that I'll have are going to be more colorful, monochromatic, but use inspiration as of home decor and other items that you would have in your house as a dialogue to talk about how we relate to one another as people, because we all got stuck in our houses.
We spent a lot of time in our houses.
Yeah, so we, you started talking to the cactus in the corner. It's fine. It became normal.
And Susie, tell me what you've been working on headed into this.
Well, I had previously been working on a series of pastel landscapes. I do a lot of different, I do pastel pieces that are more representational. I do paintings that are more abstract. On this particular series, I was more inspired to work on abstracts. And so they're largely inspired by all of our beautiful sunsets we'd had lately, with all the storms and all the sunset stormy weather, the brilliant colors that we've been seeing with all the the pinks and the oranges and the sunset colors, with the kind of like stormy clouds. So it's kind of been more just taken from nature, but just in an abstracted way. So.
And some of that was kind of like derecho-y, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
during that time too.
Ties into that. So yeah.
The exhibit is called The Gilded Girls. Now, it goes up on the 2nd of July, which traditionally you usually do an opening artist reception, but I see on the calendar you're putting that off for a couple of weeks. But there will be, and will this kind of be the first big in-person thing that we've done since?
It's the first one we've had on the postcard.
Okay.
We did do a closing reception for the previous show, Anyway New, but this will be the first one that has a little bit more stuff to it than we planned out. So
kind of inviting everybody.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And when is that?
That is July 16th from 5 to 7:30 p.m.
The exhibit is called The Gilded Girls, 10th Anniversary Celebration at Gilded Pear Gallery, and you can meet the artists. Well, most of us have met the artists, but you can hang and get a chance to talk with you about your art, which you don't always get to do. I mean, even though you all have art up in the gallery, but of course when you've got a show going on, or even when somebody comes in, it's not, you always push them toward the artist who's got an exhibit going on.
It's different to have the spotlight on you for a change.
Yes.
So it's a good thing.
Yeah. So, and kind of unaccustomed, you'll be a little bit unaccustomed, I think, to talking about your own art rather than somebody else's.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to really work hard to draw them out and come with a lot of questions and get them to talk about their art, which will be on exhibit through August, into August, correct?
August 14th.
Okay. If people want more information, and I'm sure they can see some examples of what you'll have on display at the website, which is
GildedPearGallery.com.
Well, good luck with it, and have fun. Have fun basking in your own spotlight.
That's right. Thank you.
And congratulations on 10 years.
Thank you very much.
And especially getting through the last 18 months, which I think was the hardest of the last 10 years.
Kind of was, yeah.
Again, gildedpeargallery.com if you'd like more information or to take a look at the schedule. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thank you.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:20, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture or using your favorite podcast app. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.